Ladies and gentlemen, the teams for the bronze medal match in the under-24 men's division.
For South Africa, nummer 1 Brandon van Wyk. Nummer 2 Lorcan Slabbert. Nummer 3 Ryan van Zyl. Nummer 4 Michel Cillier. Zijn broer nummer 5 Almar Cillier. Matthew Pinnan nummer 6. Nummer 7 Austin Alfred. Nummer 9 Christian van Eren. Nummer 10 Karl Brunleit. Nummer 11 Eckhart Engelbrecht. Nummer 13 Cameron Steven. En de coach Henry McDonald.
For New Zealand, number 2, Elliot Snedden. Number 3, Campbell Blake. Number 4, Ben Kevor Smith. Number 5, Alistair Ford. Number 6, Dylan Boo. Number 7, Benjamin Richard. Number 8, Fergus Griffin George. Number 9, Gareth Ward Allen. Number 10, the captain, Nicholas Healy. Number 11, Joel Samuel. Number 12, Kit Binning. Number 14, Clark Samuel. And our coaching staff, Sam Cooper, Edward Firth, and Sarah Arnold. The water referees for this game, Matthew Nunn, Veronique Seguin, and Ezekiel Russo. The chief referee for this match, Nathan Peel. His assistant, Manuel Pedrego. The timekeeper, Benoit Robert. And the scorer, Andrea Cadioli. Best of luck to both teams in this bronze medal match in the under-24 men's division. Thank you.
Morning from the Ponsford International Swim Centre. We've currently got New Zealand versus South Africa in the under-24 men's. Both teams have fought long and hard to make it here to this bronze medal playoff. It's game number 203 for this tournament. Sitting next to me I have a South African colleague who is
Jack van Blerk, alipad uit Stellenbosch. Het is vir my voorreg om hierdie bronswedstryd tussen Suid-Afrika en Nieu-Seeland uit te saai. Nieu-Seeland wat gister teen Turkye 'n baie spannende wedstryd verloor het. Suid-Afrika hulle beste gegee het, maar ongelukkig soos Nieu-Seeland nie hulle semifinaal wedstryde kon wen nie. En Suid-Afrika se derde span vandag gaan probeer om 'n bronsmedalje te kry. Ons onder 19 mans ongelukkig in 'n baie spannende wedstryd teen Spanje kon dit nie maak nie. Ons onder 23 meisies weer eens in 'n fantastiese wedstryd met dit reg gekry om 'n bronsmedalje te wen, and now for the under 24 men to see if they can also bring a medal back home as we start the game. South Africa.
white, the game, and New Zealand are in the black sticks, black hat, match their black swimming costumes, called togs as they call them in New Zealand.
They call him what?
Togs.
Togs. Okay. Very rugby orientated nation. Must be.
And first advantage quite awarded to New Zealand against South Africa.
South Africa stopping the puck there, but in the process losing it. South Africa driving hard, going forward. Ryan trying to get possession, but once again it was an illegal stop by the South African player there, and New Zealand once again an advantage puck against South Africa.
New Zealand taking the puck, swimming down to the South African goal. Severe pressure from them. South Africa defending well. Both teams have plenty of players on the bottom.
Good tussle there. Puck just popping out there, and the New Zealand player immediately there to pick it up, putting it wide out and trying to get around South Africa's defence. Eventually succeeded there, punching inside South Africa, trying to stop that attack off the lip.
Fantastic save by South Africa. It was a big hit by New Zealand on attack there. They were very close to scoring. However, the quick counter attack.
South Africa with a very nice break there. Brandon trying to open up the defence there, and South Africa continue. Eckhart receiving the puck there from Brandon and keep on swimming. Very strong player. Another player there. South Africa passing into Brandon again on the bottom. And New Zealand just enough players to make sure that South Africa don't get into the goal, and immediately it's 3 against 2 as New Zealand drive up the wall, away from the wall. Very good break inside, driving to the middle of the pool, and numbers on the bottom here by New Zealand following up very well as Dirk intercept that puck, but if we say it is done illegally as New Zealand gets another free puck.
Both teams prepared to just go out on attack as we've swung from literally from end to end already in the first 2.5 minutes. Play coming to the near side wall. One of each team's there to take the puck. New Zealand trying to swing it right back, around the back. Slowly being pushed back by the South Africans.
South Africa applying good pressure there on the defence, not being able to swim around the South African, so just take it back to the corner, just get back and set up the attack, and opted to go outside, intercepted by South Africa almost there as New Zealand bring it off the wall again and open it up again. Player right here behind, but South African intercepting, getting in there, playing back for his teammate, popping off his stick, but South Africa there, Elmer van Zyl immediately there to pick it up, driving. New Zealand steals the puck and a very good player, much more exciting player than having the puck on the wall by so many teams we've seen this tournament. These two teams play underwater hockey, and it is fantastic to see that they are willing to swim and opening up the game.
Yes, it is a very open game, very little wall play, as they actually do go to the wall, but it's come off straight away, and both teams are prepared to try and cut each other open with 45s and long passes as New Zealand get close to the South African end. They're currently level with the Sudbury, but on the near side.
That was a very dangerous flick by the South African there under pressure. Good flick through, New Zealand blocking that puck. Brandon stealing it off the guy, passing it back to his teammate. Looks like Michelle trying to knock it. It's the Elfrink. Jinx there playing to the inside. Very dangerous to play out in front of your goals. In the last third of South Africa cycling it out to the back. Alma with no support there. Eventually backup arrives as New Zealand just takes it off the puck of the South African player. South African player there jabbing, and that's number 13 of South Africa. Cameron Stephen, the captain, came in there under the body pass with that grip, giving the puck to the New Zealand guy, and South Africa once again there to pick up the puck behind the New Zealand player. New Zealand applying the pressure on South Africa. South Africa playing in their own half, having the puck all the time, but New Zealand occasionally stealing it from South Africa and just keep on forcing South Africa back into their own half.
And the screen says it's a white timeout for South Africa. Both coaches are taking a chance just to calm the teams down, get them focused on what the game plan is, so they can go out and score that first goal. It's currently 5.5 minutes in, nearly 5.5 minutes in, and it's still 0-0, which is a testament to how closely matched these teams appear to be in their skills and abilities in the water.
I think the under 23, under 24 group was a very well contested group. It was a very good competition, and it was very great experience refereeing a lot of these under 24 teams. Most of these players are in elite teams and squads already, and which is a very high level for a young person to be at already.
Big flick by New Zealand on the advantage puck. But South Africa have taken it out to the side, away from their goal. Obviously better for them the further it is from the goal, the better it is. To be honest, this level with this within 24s, anyone that's within 2 metres of the goal can probably have a good chance of slotting that puck in. So South Africa will want to keep it, 3, 4, 5 metres or even further out. So go back to advantage puck. New Zealand again, low pass through. Currently being held out by the South Africans. It's popped out the bag. Back tackles in there trying to
get away this. South Africa doing very well to stop the puck there. And the stick infringement on the attack called by New Zealand as South Africa stopped that puck right in front of the goals. I think the New Zealand guys almost retrieving it illegally. A lot of excitement to get to the puck. A very good game at the moment. Both teams willing to play and move the puck. Eckhart strong up the wall there, driving New Zealand back. New Zealand under pressure now, going backwards, trying to absorb. Brandon van Wyk with a breakaway there, but unfortunately for South Africa, unfortunately for New Zealand, nice break there by the New Zealand. Could be the hop back and driving all the way up past the South African substitution box. South Africa cycled some of their players through some fresh ones, and referees spotting one of the South Africans holding onto the barrier there. You are not allowed to hold onto the barrier. You can push against the barrier, but you cannot hold onto the barrier. As New Zealand goes down and drive the puck. Nice drive there by the player, back into the middle. South Africa punching to the outside, and number 3 Ryan van Zyl trying to find somebody or get the puck away. Deep flick inside, back into a New Zealand player, just not far enough. I think it was a 720 turn by the New Zealand player, trying not to lose the puck, as the back just slows it down, making sure the puck gets to a teammate, waiting for his support to come through. 2 guys behind, but unfortunately puck stable as New Zealand break through there and driving still forward. South Africa just jabbing the puck away from their sticks, as the New Zealand get a nice breakaway there, flick towards the goal, and puck in the goal for New Zealand. Okay, look like I've been joined here by somebody that can speak Kiwi.
Yeah, I can speak Kiwi. Ben here from the under-23 men's team. So congratulations to New Zealand for that goal. Who scored? Ben Pavia-Smith, a New Zealand men's player as well.
Okay, New Zealand eventually turning the pressure they've been applying on South Africa into points. Very nice break there and a very good long flick right into the goals. And South Africa with 6 minutes to go in the first half, leading this match by 1-0, and it was scored by number 4, Ben Pavia-Smith. Is he French?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Here we go. Another good drive here by New Zealand. Lots of pressure. South Africa has 1 person on the bin here, and is doing very well to defend.
Yeah, South Africa eventually getting the numbers down there behind the puck, and both teams contesting there with their gloves, and it will be an equal puck.
It's been a very good game so far. Both teams putting a lot of effort in, lots of patience from both teams. So when you see their drives, they drive hard. So let's see what New Zealand does here and South Africa.
South Africa getting to the puck first there, but New Zealand from the back drive through. South Africa punching the puck again forward, and a good change of angle there. Good swimming here by both teams today, opening it up. Unfortunately losing the puck very easily, but both teams willing to risk it to make this a good game.
Yes, for sure. There we go. South Africa on the wall here. New Zealand waiting for something to happen. Good drive by South Africa, wide and all in the middle of the pool. Lots of numbers down here from South Africa, and is looking like it's continually going.
Good support there by the South African players, always there to receive the puck. As we're entering the last 4.5 minutes in Sheffield, as the coach of New Zealand calling timeout there. Sheffield, the city where steel was invented, also known as the Steel City. And for those who've been following my interesting facts, you know, half of the world's surgical blades are exported out of the city.
Yes.
And true. Even though they've got so many blades in this city, it is the safest city in the UK. And it also has a huge population of students, the biggest college in in Europe as well. Yesterday I did about 16-kilometer walk around the city, and I saw the huge amount of student accommodation on the west side of the town.
That is where we're staying. Actually, we're staying in some uni halls. So here, New Zealand's probably talking about how best to defend, how best to counteract this South African attack in their goals. It's really important that New Zealand keeps it out to keep the momentum going for New Zealand.
Okay, South Africa going down there, driving the puck right in the bait ball, right to the center of the court. New Zealand able to taking it out there and securing it in the corner, waiting for the defense to set up. As Brandon van Wyk trying to get it out for South Africa, but a bit of a tussle there on the wall, and
against New Zealand again. It was very good defence there by New Zealand, taking it to the corner straight away. Let's see if the South Africans can do something different here and get into the goal.
South Africa with a little low pass there, trying to get in and drive and penetrate the middle of that bait ball, and New Zealand able to get it out. South Africa there lying on the edge of the tin, and
there it is.
Very fantastic punch there by South Africa, equalizing this game, allowing goal, and the goal was scored by, we'll see just now, we couldn't see the referees indicated, by Michel Cillier.
That was a very good goal. Lots of numbers down. 5 from the South Africans and 5 from the New Zealanders, and they found a gap and pushed it in. Very well done, South Africa.
Yes, very good lesson there. Oxygen is overrated when you're in the D.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
You have to stay down. Very good work there by Michel Cillier of South Africa, number 4. Staying down there, waiting, eventually the puck popping out, and he just punched it into the goal.
Both teams look like they have cool heads still, and are still in the game. Here we go. So New Zealand has a drive up the left side. Lots of space here, but the South African boys are down. They're still going towards the goal bin, and it looks like it's gone in. The refs are signalling, and it's a goal to number 10. Well done, Nicholas Healy.
Immediately, New Zealand immediately counter there with a good attack to take the lead again to 2-1 with 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, well, just congratulations to the boys there. Geez, the really good counter-attack.
Unfortunately, it went a bit too far away from us to clearly see what was going on there, but as we take the kick of South Africa now, slowly driving forward there. A lot of numbers on the bottom. New Zealand trying to open it up. South Africa opening it up, but straight onto the stick of a New Zealand guys. South Africa off back there, pulling it through. Jinx the player, but New Zealand now putting some pressure on South Africa. We shall see. I think it's Elmer there trying to get it through the middle, but it looks like a warning for number 3.
There
for
we go.
A stick infringement. Not a time penalty, just a personal warning to the player. And New Zealand take the advantage puck, and once again opting to stay away from the wall. South Africa slowly forced the play to the wall. New Zealand taking it off, driving through the middle. South Africa sliding the puck off the stick of the New Zealand player, but once again it's a bit of tic-tac, it's like a tennis match at the moment here, Ben.
Yes, definitely. There's swim tackle, and there's punches here and there sometimes as well, but there's some really good play. Quite equal teams here in the centre of the pool.
Yeah, nobody allows anybody that space that they want to get the puck away. South Africa committing another stick infringement as the clock is winding down to the last 20 seconds of this match.
New Zealand will want a quick swim here. Lots of numbers down, and they'll hopefully stay down for this whole time. South Africa done very well to defend this. Boys have been patient, finding a gap, and is a cluster in the middle of the pool here. We can see it's just as much as you guys, which is not very much.
Yeah, unfortunately the camera got stuck on this side, and the guys responsible for the cameras are running around here frantically to hopefully get it sorted out before we get into the second half, as halftime suddenly popped out of the blue on us, and New Zealand leading this bronze medal match here at the Ponsfords International Sports Centre in Sheffield, UK, where the 5th Age Group World Championships is being held, and on the last day we are almost getting to the final matches. This I think is the last bronze medal match of the day, and after this we are getting into the playoffs,
the finals. That's right. So I'm going to head back to the pool side, but congratulations to New Zealand, playing a very good first half, and South Africa, so keep going, and I'll see you later.
Cheers, Ben. Okay, South Africa and New Zealand competing here for a bronze medal on the last day of the tournament. Once again, thank you to all the sponsors that made it available and helped us to see and be able to have this tournament taking place. Booker Macro, Peppersmith, SIG, NASUWT, the Teachers Union, Cool Graphics, Kunil Graphics, MyZone, Nottingham Building Society, the British Octopus Association, SIV, Howard Timber and Building Supply, Benfish Design, Talk, Euro Options, and Navision, which is supplying us with a feed, the live feed, so that you can sit at home and watch this match. And as we enter the last minute of the halftime break, coaches have tuned the players what they have to do in this last little bit. New Zealand with a lead of 2-1, and we're looking forward to an exciting second half.
Certainly are looking to an exciting second half. Yes, big shout out to our sponsors, they've done really well. SIV being the company that manages the pool centre here, and their staff have been absolutely fantastic, catering to our needs, assisting with helping us set up, run the whole operation and so on. It's been absolutely brilliant.
And also to all the volunteers, they go around here very unnoticed. A huge thank you to each and every single volunteer that are working selflessly behind the scenes to make things happen and flow so that you can have a good viewing experience at home. As we enter the second half, don't bite too many nails. New Zealand suddenly pouncing on the puck that just popped out there from the middle, and immediately putting South Africa under pressure, driving straight to the goals, and numbers on the bottom. Puck somehow get out there. South Africa trying to prevent New Zealand to get back into the goal. New Zealand guy from behind here with a flick through right into the goal, just punching it through there, trying to get through. Unfortunately for New Zealand, there was a stoppage. Referee is not sure. Yes, they are sure, and apparently the puck had been into the goal there.
Yes, the third goal confirmed for New Zealand. It was a very quick attack from them to just strike out from the start, and lots of pressure there. At one stage they ended up with a 2-on-1, and they just flicked it round the cell defender from South Africa and popped it in.
Yeah, Lewis always say that the third match or the third goal of the game is a big influence on the outcome of a match, but I think with this goal sort of coming out from nowhere, it's not really a true reflection of what's happening, although New Zealand is busy having time here to just float forward, drive forward, and nobody putting pressure on that player, and numbers on the bottom slowly driving South Africa back, trying to push it back to New Zealand, but New Zealand just keep on driving forward as we're getting closer and closer to the New Zealand South African goal box, and New Zealand with all that pressure pushing the puck again into the South African goals. Maybe Lewis has got some wisdom there. New Zealand scoring that third goal, and of the first half, the second half would suddenly coming from nowhere. South Africa now on the back foot, and they really have to dig deep here if they want to get out of this position.
They will. The goals has made it a little more difficult for them. They've still got 12.5 minutes left though, but New Zealand straight on the attack again. South Africa have managed to hold them just outside their third as they come to the wall. South Africa trying to take it inside again, just keeping that pressure on like they were for most of the first half, driving through, making slow ground against the New Zealanders, and just make it inside the half as we have a call from the referees.
I think one of the New Zealand players there, number 8, for a bit of obstruction, barging, either or, and for his sins he will sit out. South Africa now with 5 people, New Zealand with 5, South Africa with 6 have got an opportunity now to put something on the board here. On the bottom, New Zealand somehow coming through there and just punching the puck out, trying to get possession. player coming in there, stealing the puck from South Africa off the wall. South Africa trying to just hook it back, but New Zealand once again with a fantastic drive and the numbers from behind and players in front to get that puck from the South African players, as New Zealand in that process committed a stick infringement, and it gives South Africa the opportunity to just get out of their own half.
New Zealand currently playing with 5 players, if I'm reading the screen correctly.
New Zealand are playing with 5 players, and South Africa unfortunately not able to capitalize on this. New Zealand keeping the pressure on South Africa, as the number 8 Fergus is on his way back into the water. You'll most probably see me coming in as South Africa busy driving straight up into the goals of New Zealand, and
it's been disallowed. Calls have been made for, couldn't quite see what the call signal was.
it was gloving apparently.
Disappointing for South Africa, 'cause that would have brought them back into the game.
That was such a long breakaway. I don't know how, but anyway, it's a call is a call. And the rule number 1 is the ref is always right. If the ref makes a mistake, see rule number 1. South Africa trying to get back into this game and applying some pressure on New Zealand, but New Zealand now opting to play the puck towards the wall, slowing the game down a bit and running the clock down. With a lead of 3 goals, they can afford it as they try and break off the wall. But another little bit of barging obstruction by the New Zealand players as South Africa try and progress there into the goal area, and South Africa going down there. Well, 5 players behind the puck with that free puck. They're busy driving to steal. New Zealand turning, keeping the puck back straight down to the wall. South Africa don't really have numbers there, as New Zealand has to bring it out of the corner, which they don't do. But now a South African player for barging, and the New Zealand player was swimming it into the corner. Maybe a bit of the play there by one of the South Africa players, as New Zealand getting a free puck and pushing it, opting it to go to the wall. South Africa opening it up, a little bit of pull back and push, but New Zealand very successfully stealing the puck there from the South African player, and a stick infringement by New Zealand, as New Zealand has used the opportunity to cycle some of their players, and as they go down the line of 3-3, South Africa opting to go a bit wider there, play wide, but New Zealand stopping the puck. Again, South Africa just cannot get the puck through there, but numbers from behind, and again a stick infringement. Illegal blocking, stopping of the puck by New Zealand. South Africa just need to keep on applying the pressure and allow New Zealand to make the mistakes. And New Zealand coach calling a timeout there, as we are halfway through the first half. New Zealand with a somehow comfortable lead, the way they're playing now, 4-1 against South Africa. South Africa really have to dig in there and pull the rabbit out of the hat if they want to win the match.
They do, but they've had a very good period of pressure here for the last 2-3 minutes. Up on the side of the New Zealand half, it's been a few unfortunate calls possibly made against them, which have gone against them, but then at the same time the New Zealanders have committed a few fouls which have allowed the South Africans to stay there and have advantage pucks against the Kiwis and keep the pressure on them. That being said, New Zealand is doing well to absorb that pressure and not letting any goals in.
South Africa might be feeling the pressure a little bit. New Zealand keeping their composure, and South Africa immediately with a quick swim forward and a chip. Numbers coming in, driving in from the back. New Zealand opening it wide out to the wall and opting just to push the puck there Once again, clock running down as they drive up the wall. New Zealand guy try and break away there. South Africa stop him, staying on the wall. Kind of an underbody flick to the inside, but New Zealand just keep on driving forward. South Africa competing for the puck there, bit of jabbing, and the New Zealand guys swimming in the process, making them go forward as South Africa try and stop New Zealand's attack here. Good interception there by South Africa. Support there, Brandon opening it up, giving some space as you got support there, and Elmer Celia coming. It's Elmer, or is it Michelle? That's Elmer that comes through. And number 10 you have South Africa, Carl Broodryk trying to break away there, but in the process another stick infringement by New Zealand, feeling the pressure there and stopping the advance of South Africa.
There was a good little attack there from South Africa, you know, going first right then left again on the 45, and the big flick between players to pass it round.
A very good drive there by Elmer, but unfortunately couldn't get the puck through there. Eventually cycling it back, and South Africa trying to penetrate the bait ball there. A lot of defenders in the middle of New Zealand, and South Africa's players all coming in from behind, not allowing themselves to really put some real pressure on New Zealand as South Africa push it forward. And somehow in the process South Africa committing a foul there. New Zealand has the opportunity to take a
short breather.
Some comfort in the fact that they're getting the puck here right in front of their own goal, the substitution box, and in the process opting to play right out in front of their goals, opening it up wide again.
Once camera 6 comes back online.
South Africa with a good steal there, and but New Zealand just at this moment applying the pressure on South Africa and just driving forward, driving to the middle. Always somebody behind. South Africa were lacking the numbers on the bottom there. Once again, a nice breakaway, but there's nobody there with Elmer as he lays it back to Kyle. Kyle trying to push forward, but New Zealand stealing the puck. South African player pushing a bit there on the New Zealand puck, which might be penalised. There might be a little bit of frustration getting in there to South African players. A very good steal by New Zealand over the top as they drive into the side, laying it back, trying to get it through to his player inside, which he done very well, as New Zealand is busy changing direction, left right, opting for back and forward options, and always a player there. South Africa try and get that puck out of the goals, and able to push that puck right into the corner, and New Zealand pushing hard there. Very good play by New Zealand, keeping the possession, making sure the passes go to the players as the two teams compete there for possession in the corner, and New Zealand with attacks, drive straight to the middle, and South Africa doing their very best, but the puck going out there, the puck going wide, and New Zealand player in position to get the puck and flick it into the goals, and New Zealand leading 5-1 in this bronze medal match. Joel Samuel, number 11 of New Zealand, scoring the 5th goal for New Zealand, and I think at this point in time you could say that New Zealand has sealed this game for themselves after a very tough match against Turkey yesterday. They will be the bronze medal winners for this match.
It's looking that way as we've got a white timeout here. New Zealand was one of 3 teams tied in a 3-way tie at the end of the round robin with Turkey and Great Britain. Full credit to the Turkish team yesterday. They managed to turn around a round robin defeat to New Zealand to a win, a very hard fought game yesterday. I think the difference between the two teams here today is that both have been able to put good pressure on each other, but when it comes to running the goal mouth, New Zealand have been able to find that chink in the armour as such and slot it in, or have that second player push the puck in and score a goal. South Africa haven't quite been able to get close enough to the goal to do that, but they have been able to put lots of pressure on.
Yeah, South Africa really have to dig deep here, and New Zealand very strongly with a kick-off, immediately driving through. Yeah, the South Africans played a very good tournament. The guys did very well, but at the end of the day, this is sport, and somebody's going to win and somebody's got to lose. And it's not always very nice to be on the losing end, but we are seeing some brilliant hockey, not a lot of wall play and bashing that we've seen in other games. Both teams here opting to play open hockey. New Zealand, however, at this point in time, have had the numbers on the bottom, they had the support, and South Africa not able to close the holes they've been creating. New Zealand again opening it up, players from behind, players on the bottom, and South Africa somehow stole the puck there from New Zealand. Brandon getting the puck there, playing it back to Elmar. Elmar passing it straight forward to, I think it is Michel, his brother, but nobody there to support, popping it back. So Ryan coming through there from the back. South Africa now with a very strong drive. Seems to me the talk the coach gave them there, Henry Maton. And Brandon with a flick towards the goal. Once again, no South Africans there to just finish it off, as New Zealand cleaning it out, passing it wide. Very dangerous flick by the New Zealand player there backwards to the side of the goal. And once again, no numbers. South Africa don't have anybody there to finish it off. And New Zealand driving and keeping the puck close to the wall, but then South Africa stealing, passing out wide forward, but straight back into a New Zealand player as the play is going towards the middle. New Zealand driving the puck to the middle, allowing the player to turn and swim. They're coming in there from the back, but once again Eckhart on the inside, getting the puck and just flicking it forward. He should have rather swam with the puck there, giving it to a New Zealand guy, passing it to his teammate, trying to push it through, but South Africa in the way there of the player, and New Zealand stealing the puck from South Africa. South Africa trying to steal it back, but in the process not succeeding in it, and the player there behind. As we're getting into the last 40 seconds, a good play flick there by New Zealand as they break away from the South Africa, creating another hole in South African defence. Dirk here at the back. Oh, is not Dirk, one of the South Africans there, slowing New Zealand down, stealing the puck and driving on his own, flicking to the inside, and not one South African at the moment there to contest the puck. New Zealand, 15 seconds, 12 seconds to go, winners of this match and bronze medalist at the 5th biannual Age Group World Championships here at Sheffield at the Ponsford International Centre, as they beat South Africa 5-1 in this final bronze medal match for today, I believe.
Yes, it is the final bronze medal match. New Zealand very deserving winners there at 5-1. Don't think quite the scoreline reflects the effort that South Africa put in, because they certainly did battle hard. They had long periods of pressure on the New Zealand team, but sadly the goal count doesn't show that.
Yeah, I think like Lewis have mentioned in the earlier game, is that third goal of the match, especially if you 1-1, it has got a huge influence, and I think that 3-1 is what made the difference at the end of the day. And I think you could see it in the South African players that it was very difficult to pick themselves up from that point on, even though they made a huge and big effort. We just lacked the numbers on the bottom to make this an exciting match like the previous matches we had this morning. South Africa once again in extra time match, and also the other 23 ladies once again a spectacular match to win a bronze medal. Congratulations to all the South African players, to all the fans that have watched and followed us. Baie dankie, veel ondersteuning. Die spelers waardeer dit ongelooflik baie. Al die boodskappe wat gestuur word. word vir hulle gelees en aan hulle deurgegee. And as we conclude here at the stadium, we would like to say thank you to Great Britain, to all the volunteers and sponsors for making this possible. And from me, Jack van Blerk, goodbye and see you soon again.
Thank you for tuning in from New Zealand, and it's good night and thanks very much from me, Edwin.